Wu-Tang Clan, how my angels get up. Life on life, tell me how you're set up. Nigga ask me how I'm doing this year. I'm better.
Man, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Kamikage Village. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that like button, click subscribe, comment down below. Don't let this be your last and first stop to the village, man. We do a lot of great things here. Check out all the other stuff that we got going on the channel. If you're a fan of One Piece, which is why you clicked on this video, we cover a lot of One Piece stuff. Check out my Blackbeard stuff. Check out my Will of D stuff. A lot of great content, but go ahead and click that like button and subscribe. Thank you. So what we're going over today is probably my favorite thing to talk about. If you know me personally, and there are a few people that follow me that do know me personally on a personal, familial level, guys, I've been talking about this forever. I think this is gonna happen. I mean, the crumbles are right there for us. We just got to put it together to get the full recipe. And so with that being said, what we're going to talk about today is how our boy Buggy is going to be the Pirate King when it's all said and done. And I know that y'all are probably like, bro, it's fucking Buggy. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is a joke, you know? And I don't blame you for thinking that way. But also, to be honest with you, that's the beauty of Oda's writing. The joke is actually on us. As viewers, as readers, we think, you know, Oda is just making Buggy a little character here and there. But Buggy actually has a lot of momentum in this story. And it's fucking crazy. Especially when you sit down and think about it, Buggy's weak. You know what I mean? Buggy's not strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to analyze all the things that make it so that Buggy is going to be the Pirate King. And then we're just going to wrap it up at the end. Yeah, that'll be it. But let's do it though. So throughout this video, I know that y'all are probably going to be like, hey, look, man, Buggy just doesn't have the feats. And I'm going to be right there with you like, hey, look, I don't disagree with you. But that, again, is the beauty of Oda. It's not about just power in this system, in this world. You can get your claim to fame by a number of different ways. You can either do it by being the strongest person on earth. You can be the smartest person on earth. Doesn't mean that you are the strongest, but you can be the smartest. You can also have so many allies that nobody's going to fuck with you based off of the allies that you have. So it's a lot of different ways you can get to power. And we're going to walk through that. But more importantly, first, I think we need to dive down into Buggy's personality, Buggy's character. Why does this make sense for Buggy's character to attain the One Piece? Let's walk through it. So as you guys know, Buggy is as prideful as anybody else in the entire show, right? Buggy's one of those who hates to lose, and to be honest with you, that comes to a fault. It's not like being prideful is completely a bad thing, because having pride makes sure that you're going to get what you want. Buggy is extremely prideful. When he failed to kill Luffy, Zoro, and Nami for stealing from him and defying him, he said that it would bring great shame upon him and his crew to let them go free. After Luffy defeated him, Buggy made it his mission to hunt down and kill him for simply angering him. He is prone to underestimating opponents that he knows nothing about, as he initially mistook Luffy for a common thief and believed that Luffy was much weaker than him until being defeated by him. He initially paid much more attention to Zoro due to having heard of the swordsman before, and impelled down Buggy's lack of knowledge about Vice Warden Hannibal caused him to assume that he and Galdino had a chance of beating him, causing them to attack him and get easily beaten. Buggy also angrily confronted Portgas the Ace as an enemy until finding out who he was. But now the most important piece. When the Roger Pirates battled with the Whitebeard Pirates for 4 days, Marco noted that Buggy and Shanks both had impressively stoic attitudes for young pirate apprentices. Let's pause here. So the final sentence, in my opinion, is arguably the most important sentence, because if you follow me, there's this theme going on with One Piece of parallelism. If you don't know what parallelism is, it's simply saying this happened here, and we're going to make it happen here. And it's going to pretty much mirror each other, point blank period of how it happened, the exact same way. To be honest with you, this isn't just One Piece specific. It's human specific. I don't know if you guys are fans of history, but it is commonly stated that history repeats itself. Why? Because it does. So people parallel all the time. One Piece does it all the time. We talk about Joy Boy. We talk about Luffy. We can go down the list. But with Buggy, his parallel is Shanks. Shanks. And we can go down the Shanks rabbit hole. We won't do that in this video. This video is not about that. But we know Shanks is destined for something great. Without a doubt. Shanks has all the accolades and the strength that you would attain to Buggy. And as we know now, both Shanks and Buggy are 4 emperors. But as we also know, Buggy is super weak. He should never be there. But for the story, Buggy is the parallel to Shanks, and Shanks is a parallel to Buggy. And that again speaks to why Buggy is going to end up being the Pirate King. But let's keep on going. Before we go to the next part, I should say that this part probably has the most to do with this theory, because this shows Buggy, right? This shows why Buggy is going to do it, get the One Piece, be the Pirate King, but also why Buggy is in the pirate race to begin with. Before the One Piece was ever on his mind, any of that, this is very important to this theory. Let's do it. In spite of Buggy's dislike of Shanks, Buggy at least internally always thought highly of him and viewed him as a partner of having great potential to be the natural successor to Roger as Pirate King. That's another parallelism right there. That said, when Shanks rebuffed the idea of going to Laugh Tale to claim the One Piece to himself, as he did not feel ready yet for such an endeavor, Buggy was taken aback by this, believing Shanks was betraying Roger's will. Let's pause here, and then the next sentence is very important, but let's pause here. So this in itself is fantastic writing by Oda, because this is what is telling us, hey, Buggy is actually a viable contender to get the One Piece Gold D. Rogers will. As we just read, Buggy was hurt by Shanks not going to Laugh Tale because Buggy believed in Roger. He set his pride to the side to follow Gold D. Roger. Now I know that Buggy's just a kid at this time, but just think about it. Buggy's ego is everything to him. Buggy would try to kill you for making fun of his nose, but Buggy would give up all of that to follow one man. And then when his best friend in the entire world doesn't go to achieve that man's will, that man's dream, Buggy is hurt by it to the point Buggy doesn't want to do anything with you. Buggy's good off of you. Why is that the case? Because Buggy's mission is to do what Roger's mission was, find the One Piece. It's just writing by Oda. It may not even be Buggy's intuition, but Oda's intuition for Buggy. Does that make sense? And so Buggy, having gone through all of this with Shanks, with Gold D. Roger, all of the fights that they went through, they fought the Whitebeard pirates. Buggy knows that this is the ultimate of it all. And you're just going to throw that away? When you and I were both held as having something special by Marco? This is super important to the character of Buggy. Buggy wanted the One Piece as bad as anybody else, and I would argue more than anybody else. And we're actually about to walk into that, because what makes a really good pirate a really good pirate? It's a pirate that goes after treasures. We don't really see that in One Piece. Think about that. It's a show about pirates that don't really go after the treasure. If you think about maybe Nami, but she's not the head captain. Nobody else is treasure hunting like Buggy. Interesting. But if you don't believe me, let's read it. In addition to the lost treasure map and the Bari no Mi he ended up swallowing by accident, this event was what led Buggy to carry a grudge against Shanks up until this present day. We'll talk about the Bari no Mi, but we're about to walk into his love for treasure finding. As we go through this, guys, the most important sentence, in my opinion, is the first sentence, because it just gives you the full breadth of what we're talking about. In addition to wanting followers, Buggy loves to find treasures and spends most of his time following maps, leading to great riches. When he was on Roger Pirates, he stated that the most important thing to a pirate is the physical treasure they find. Now, I don't know about you guys, but just pausing here for a quick second, what is Luffy's goal, right? Is it just to unite everybody? Is it just to have fun, a big party, right? And we'll get into that when we dissect Luffy and what his One Piece could be, right? But nobody else is focused on finding treasure like Buggy is. Point blank period. Nobody is. A lot of these guys are focused on just getting drunk, having a good time, maybe pillaging if they're like Blackbeard, if they're bad pirates, or if they're like Shanks. They just kind of want to, go under the radar, chill out for a little bit. And now we're seeing that they're moving, but that was never their core. Their core was never finding treasure. Their core was never finding the ultimate treasure. That's been Buggy forever. But let's get back into it. Buggy is extremely possessive over the treasure he takes and will kill anyone who attempts to steal from him. Very important. When Shanks accidentally caused him to lose a treasure map during their apprentice days, Buggy developed a grudge against him that has lasted for 3 decades. when the Roger pirates went to Skypiea, Buggy was very attracted to the Chandelorian golden belfry bell and was disappointed when Roger decided not to take it. Buggy was even willing to guide Luffy through Impel Down in exchange for an armband pointing to Captain John's treasure, though it did not intend to fully honor the deal, especially after Luffy gave him the armband in advance. When asked by Shanks on Marineford to return Luffy's straw hat, Buggy immediately did so upon being promised a treasure map in return, and was extremely angry when he found out Shanks was lying. So then, I actually think this shows that Buggy's willing to partner with anybody to further his ambitions. Why does this matter? Well, what's happening right now? Buggy has developed Cross Guild. Buggy is also a 4 Emperor of the Seas. Now we know Buggy is nowhere near that level of power, but we're going to get into his progression and why that is also another reason for why he's going to be the Pirate King, find the One Piece. But Buggy is willing to do anything to find the treasure that he wants. And so with Cross Guild, he's got that. He's got the ability to actually make some change to finding the One Piece with allying with people who literally want to kill him. I don't know if y'all have been watching the anime like I have, but it's been very apparent that Crocodile and Mihawk don't give a fuck about Buggy. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you were just a staple head, a poster boy. You know what I mean? But in reality, Buggy is like, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that beating, because when it's all said and done, I will be the one to rise. And now, finally, we're going to talk about a theory of a theory, which is why Buggy's Devil Fruit has a lot more significance to the story of One Piece than you think. So I should preface this by saying that if you know the world of One Piece, you know that it was all one big world at one point in time. It's not a spoiler, it's not anything, it's just, that's how it is, right? And so, if that's the case, and if we're trying to get the world united, you would need something that could, let's say, disconnect and reconnect, maybe be intangible and intangible. What does that sound like? Buggy's Devil Fruit. Let's read into it. First of all, while I was reading this, I was like, Buggy's Devil Fruit is low-key fucking, busted. If he just does it the right way, but is fucking Buggy, he'll never do it the right way. But, again, I actually think he is going to do it the right way, and we'll talk about it. So, look, Buggy's Devil Fruit is the Bari no Mi. It's a paramecia type devil fruit that allows him to split his body into pieces and reassemble them at will. This power also makes him immune to slashing attacks, including hockey-infused slashes. Fucking crazy. With the exception of his feet, Buggy can make his disassembled body parts levitate and control them telekinetically. He can launch his body parts at high speed, allowing him to strike a distant target with strong force. He can also split his body to dodge opponents' attacks by detaching the section of his body that would have taken the attack and making it fly out of that way. Furthermore, his body parts remain connected to each other even when they are separated. For example, if his hand is detached, he can still control his fingers. Additionally, he can feel any pain that is inflicted on his detached pieces. I should have mentioned this as well before getting into this, but guys, if you need a little bit of a refresher on the world of One Piece, I did a breakdown video a few months back, just breaking down the world, not spoiler at all, it's basic, right? But this will give you a very clear indication of where I'm trying to go with this. Buggy's Devil Fruit has the ability to reassemble things that were detached. What has been happening in the story of One Piece ever since Luffy fought Doflamingo? Awakenings. What do awakenings allow you to do with paramecia type devil fruits? It allows you to affect the environment around you. We saw this with Doflamingo. When he was using his devil fruit, a lot of shit was happening. Just point blank period, right? Different things were becoming his strings. Buildings, like, it's crazy. So let's take that to the highest degree of possible, because we are getting into the end game, which means power levels are going to get higher. Think about that. What would a devil fruit, the Bari no Mi, what would that look like as an awakening? And what would that look like as an awakening narrative to the story? We know that the world was once one, but we know that it's split up now, right? You got the red line, you got the new world, you got paradise, different things like that, right? But it was one. So what if Buggy is going to be the catalyst to bringing everybody together? It would make sense. Because let's say this happens after Buggy attains the One Piece. Well, you're the Pirate King at that point. You have as much notoriety as anybody on this planet. You have as much pull as anybody on this planet. And narratively to the story as we're going, a lot of distrust to the world government is becoming more popular. So the Pirate King, if done the right way, could be seen as a savior. So Buggy would have the backing of the people. And then what if he just united everybody? I mean, it's an ass pull. Don't get me wrong. This is an ass pull. I fucking know. But it's One Piece. You know, we were able to see in Skypiea episode 200 to like 300. I'm probably off with that, but like we were able to see NL almost able to wipe out complete islands at that level of power. So what's gonna happen now? And I won't get into spoilers, but look, if y'all think Wano was crazy, Egghead is about to be like, come on, bro. We're getting into different levels of power here. So I think we've talked about a lot with Buggy, his character, his drive, his devil fruit. Now I want to talk about his ascension to power, okay? If you know Buggy's story, you know Buggy should never have been a warlord. And you also know Buggy should never have been an emperor. But why did it happen? It's because, narrative to the story, his notoriety speaks for himself, but also this is the beauty of writing with Oda. I could totally see still staying off the fact that Buggy's going to be the One Piece, or excuse me, going to get the One Piece and be the Pirate King. I could totally see a world where, let's say Luffy or Shanks actually gets it, but Buggy actually gets the claim to fame for it. Buggy gets the notoriety for it. I don't know how that's going to happen. I have no idea, but I could 100% see that. And to be honest with you, I'm more sold on that than anything that we've talked about, because it just makes sense. Buggy, is Buggy beating Weevil? No. Is Buggy beating Moria? No. Like, is Buggy being a vice admiral? I don't fucking know. They're trash, but you know what I mean? So I think we're gonna wrap this video up here. A lot of good stuff to talk about, man. I fucking love Buggy. You know what I mean? Like, such a great character. Somebody that's gonna fly under the radar, but to be honest with you, he really hasn't, because he's gotten the most notoriety out of anybody. And the ascension has been so fucking quick. But yeah, if y'all haven't done so already, go ahead and click that like button, click subscribe, join the village, man. Love hanging out with you guys. Thank you for showing the love. If you haven't done so already, check out my sword video. It's gaining momentum. We do a breakdown of sword, and we also break down who could possibly be in sword. And I think the final, 5-6 minutes are spectacular of that video. But also, watch the entire thing. Guys, thank you. Kamikage Village, y'all are awesome. Kami out. We'll see y'all with the next one. Deuces.